Hey guys, it's Kate and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because I feel like I haven't filmed a proper sit down and chat video for a while. I have definitely noticed that my shopping videos, including my hauls, and my dining videos are really popular here on my channel, which I just am so grateful for because shopping and eating are like the two things that I'm the best at. But one of you guys commented in my last video, I believe it was my restaurant review of Wolfgang Puck, to do a top 5 restaurants at Disney World. So what I did is I sat myself down with my Shanghai Disneyland notebook and I tried to, using the Walt Disney World website, go through each park and pick one, but I couldn't do that. So I'm gonna do kind of a variation on that idea. If you guys would still like me to do a top 5, I will see if I can force myself to narrow down these options. But like I said, I kind of did a alteration. So what I did is I went through each park and I selected a $1 sign rating. So let me step back for a minute. The way the Walt Disney World restaurants pages are set up is they are set up by dollar value. So the $1 signs are the quick service locations. The $2 sign ratings are typically like fast casual, just maybe a step up from quick service. The $3 signs ratings are restaurants that are character buffets and so on and so forth. So what I kind of did was I selected a quick service, a fast casual, and then like a unique theme dining or a buffet family style dining, as well as a snack for each park. So that's what we're gonna do today. That's what I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna try not to make this super long, but as I was going through, as I said, definitely things were jumping out and things that I wanted to mention to you, because if you are coming on your own Disney vacation, these are just things that maybe you want to add to your list for things to try. So we're going to start off with Animal Kingdom because my type A personality also listed each park alphabetically. So let's get started with Animal Kingdom. Okay, so for Animal Kingdom counter service, I recommend Flame Tree BBQ. Flame Tree BBQ is located on Discovery Island. So if you come into the park, you go over the bridge and you see the iconic Tree of Life. You're going to veer towards the right as if you were heading into Dino Land. And Flame Tree BBQ is right before you hit Dino Land. It is identified as a counter service, so you will go through the line, place your order at the counter. They'll direct you to step over to the next line to pick up your food. And then you'll take your tray and you kind of go out of line to the left, and there is a huge seating area. Another reason why I love this restaurant, aside from the food, and I'll also kind of tell you what I get from each place as well, just to kind of give you an idea, is the seating. So there's a lot of covered seating. They're kind of under canopies almost, but if you go further down the walkway, you can sit and overlook the lake, and directly across from that you see Expedition Everest. So that is a great seating area. Even if you're wanting to see the Rivers of Light show in the evening, I recommend checking out that seating area. But what I get from Flame Tree BBQ when I go is the smoked pulled pork sandwich, and that retails for $10.99. But what's also really fun about Flame Tree is they offer a lot of fun seasonal cupcakes. The one that we tried most recently was like an apple pie crumble cake, and it was phenomenal. So that's another really good place if you're kind of even not wanting a full meal but some snacks. That's a fun place to check out. My next one for kind of the step up for a fast casual option is Satu'li Canteen. And Satu'li Canteen is right in the heart of Pandora. So again, as you enter the park, you're gonna veer towards the left, and that's gonna take you into Pandora, the world of Avatar. You'll go over the bridge, then you're gonna wanna stay towards the right, and that will loop you right into Satu'li Canteen. And what I love about Satu'li Canteen is that it is kind of a build your own style where you get up to the counter and most of the menu options, specifically the one that I get, is like a build your own chicken bowl. So you get to pick a base and a protein. So you get to pick the kind of sauce that they use on the chicken as well as what protein you want with it. And that could be like a potato hash or rice. So it's very customizable, which is great if you have pickier eaters in your group. Another thing that I love about Tooley Canteen, which when I looked on the menu on the Disney World website, it doesn't seem like they have this on the adult menu anymore. It's only on the kids menu, but they have the famous steamed cheeseburger steam pods, and the kids menu was $7.99. But I really could swear the adult option for that you would come with 2. I know the kids meal only comes with 1. So like I said, I didn't see the adult cheeseburger steam pods on the menu anymore. But if you're wanting to try them, definitely get the kids meal version. You'll only get 1, so you might have to order 2 meals, but they are phenomenal. They taste just like a McDonald's cheeseburger. So when you're wanting that kind of comfort food, that is definitely the place to go. Then for my third pick for Animal Kingdom, which is the buffet family style character dining, so it's a little pricier, is Tusker House. My family and I had the opportunity to have breakfast there, and of course, character dining is always my favorite way to dine on Disney property because as somebody who lives here, I am not inclined to wait in long lines to meet characters because I live here. So the need to see them isn't as strong as maybe someone who's coming on vacation and only has a limited amount of time here. So for me to get some phenomenal food and meet characters at the same time, get that kind of personalized character meet and greet is super ideal for me. So we had the breakfast here, as I said. I have not had the lunch/dinner, so I can't speak to that menu. But from my understanding and from what I remember from our experience there, the chefs do a phenomenal job of incorporating some African-inspired dishes as well as the traditional American fare, scrambled eggs, things like that. So again, it's kind of got something for everybody. If you're wanting to be more reserved with your choices, you can get that classic breakfast meal, but you can also maybe just dip your toe into some of the African-inspired dishes. And because it's a buffet, you can just get a scoop or 2. And then if you don't like it, you didn't just get a whole plate of it as if you were ordering a regular meal. So I really, really like that as well. And then my last thing, kind of like honorable mention, is the snack category. And this is Pangu, which is back in Pandora. And they have the Pangu Lumpia, which are pineapple cream cheese spring rolls. And those are $3.29 or a snack credit if you're on the Disney dining plan. And the Night Blossom, which is a non-alcoholic drink that I'm sure you guys have seen Instagram pictures everywhere of the Night Blossom against the moss wall, which is the Instagram spot over there. But that retails for $5.99, and I kind of equate it to like the Violet Lemonade. It's kind of a purple and green, super sweet slushy drink. So it's perfect when it is hot. And Animal Kingdom's hot, it's outside, so that's a great drink to get when you're wanting a little bit of a refresher. So those are my picks for Animal Kingdom. We're now going to go to Epcot. Okay, so for Epcot, my first one, my counter service or the lower choice, lower price point choice is La Cantina de San Angel, which is why I kind of also dressed with my concha ears and my bonita crop. I was kind of dressing Mexico themed because this is in the Mexican pavilion. And I just get the nachos there. They're $12.50. They're fantastic. Again, a really comfort food with that super plasticky cheese. But they also have taco trios. They have empanadas, which are phenomenal. So it's a great just quick service location. And I think Mexican food is just not a food that you can go wrong with. So that's my pick for a quick service. My next one is a step up from that. So the unique theme dining is Via Napoli restaurant, a pizzeria, I think is how you say that. And that is in the Italy pavilion. And I typically get the margarita 10-inch personal pizza, and that costs around $18. And what I love about Via Napoli is that inside the restaurant, they have 3 huge fire wood burning ovens, like just totally open ovens. So anywhere you're seated in the restaurant, you can actually see these huge ovens and watch the pizza being made, which to me is like dining and entertainment together. So I love that. And it is phenomenal. It tastes so good. And for $18, I think that's not so bad for theme park pricing. Then my third option for Epcot is the buffet, family style. So again, it's going to be a little pricier, but it is a garden grill. You guys have heard me rave about garden grill, I'm sure, in a ton of my vlogs. We have done breakfast and lunch and dinner there. It is a family style. So what that means is the food is brought to you in a center, in a kind of big tray, and it is a set menu. So it's different from a buffet in that a buffet is just the food is placed out and you grab your plate and you walk down the buffet and you kind of select what you want from there. But with a family style, they just bring it to you, and whatever is on the menu and is brought to you is what you'll be served. And you can always get more. So for example, for the lunch, it's kind of like a Thanksgiving dinner where you get carved turkey, carved ham, mashed potatoes, green beans, macaroni and cheese, and that's all brought out to you. And if as you're eating you need more macaroni and cheese for the table, they can bring out more, just depending on how you need, but you don't get up and go pick your own. So that's kind of the difference there. But it is also a character meet and greet. So again, you can meet Farmer Mickey, Chip and Dale, and Pluto. And I have always had the best character meet and greet experiences at Garden Grill because it definitely is a slower paced restaurant. It's also very unique in that it is positioned in the land pavilion above the Living with the Land attraction, and it spins. So as you're sitting in the restaurant, it doesn't spin like the teacups. It is incredibly slow. You'll get about 1 full turn around in your entire dining experience, which is about an hour. So it's very slow moving, but it does rotate, so you will get to see some of the scenes from Living with the Land as you're dining. So it just is super unique. The food is phenomenal. The character meet and greet is my favorite. I just cannot recommend that restaurant highly enough. And then for my bonus, my snack, my favorite place is, I'm gonna say this wrong, La Artisan des Glaces. It's the ice cream place inside of the France Pavilion. And this is on par with Ample Hills Creamery for me. These are the 2 places on Disney property that I think the ice cream is by far the best. So like I said, when you go into the France Pavilion, you're gonna go to the back and stay to the left. And before we go into the huge quick service area, you'll see the little ice cream shop. And it is so cute, so Instagram worthy if that is definitely your thing. I'm not one to say that I don't do that because I definitely do. But the ice cream itself is fantastic. And you can just get a scoop and a cone, or you can get some of the other creations that they have. So those are my recommendations for Epcot. Now we're gonna move on to Hollywood Studios. Okay, so for Hollywood Studios, I actually think that this is kind of like my least favorite park. I do appreciate Toy Story Land. The Incredibles area that they have set up in front of Toy Story Land while they are undergoing this transformation for Star Wars Land is super cute. I'm just not a big fan of the Muppets. I do appreciate Star Wars, but it is not like my end all be all. So when that opens up, I know it's just going to be mayhem down here anyway, but I don't know that that's going to be like my go-to land, my go-to park. So because of that, I don't have a lot of places that I love to eat at Hollywood Studios, but I'm going to share with you what I do have. The first of which is the counter service, and it is Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land. I like to get the tachos, which they have something similar in Magic Kingdom, but if you're not in Magic Kingdom, if you're going to Hollywood Studios, I would get it there. It's $8.99. But what I also really like there is they have a fun drink called the Mystic Portal Punch. It is $4.49 without the souvenir glass, but of course I do have the souvenir cup. It is a plastic cup that has the claw with the little green aliens inside, and it lights up, which is super cute. But it's a mix of like a lime Powerade and a Sprite or something like that. So it is just very refreshing, especially since, again, all of Hollywood Studios and all of Toy Story Land is outside, so Florida can get hot. It's nice to have go-to areas where you can get things to cool you down. So I definitely recommend that. And then for my casual dining, I definitely recommend Mama Melrose's Ristorante Italiano. And I did not write down, I have like this whole list of stuff, but I did not write down the specific name. But when I went, it was just the spaghetti and meatballs, the classic. And I would say it was probably around $15, $18. But it was delicious. And when Mom and I went, we also were able to get a fun spaghetti meatballs themed cupcake. So definitely a great spot to check out. That is tucked away behind Muppet Land on Grand Avenue. I don't think it's called Muppet Land, but it's where the Muppet area is. The Miss Piggy Fountain and Muppet Vision 3D. It's behind that near the Christmas store. So definitely check that out. Now, the only two higher dollar dining areas there are Hollywood and Vine, and I actually haven't eaten there since my mom and I came on vacations before we lived here when I was very young. So I don't remember my experience, and I don't want to recommend it when I don't remember it. And the other one is, I'm sorry, I was referring to the Brown Derby. That's the one that we went to when I was young and I don't remember. And then Hollywood and Vine, my husband and I went to actually for Valentine's Day a couple of years ago, and I thought it was okay. I don't know that I would, definitely go. I always say with any of these kinds of things, obviously form your own opinions, but I think for the price point, it's not something that I'm like ready to do again and again. And that's kind of what I tried to do when I sat myself down and identified these areas and made this recommendation video. These are places that I go to time and time again and that immediately stand out to me as some of my favorites, and Hollywood and Vine just wasn't one of those, so I didn't want to put it for the Hollywood Studios section. So that's it. Kind of a bummer. But let's just go ahead and move on to Magic Kingdom. All right, so for Magic Kingdom, very last one, my counter service recommendation, so again on the lower price point, is Pinocchio Village House, excuse me. That is located in Fantasyland. I get the margarita flatbread just like I do at Via Napoli. I'm definitely a creature of habit. I kind of know what I like to get and I don't really stray from that, but their flatbread is $11.99 versus the $18 at Via Napoli because it is a tier up, so it is a little bit cheaper. And I think it's phenomenal. They also are a location that does a lot of fun different treats. The last time I visited Magic Kingdom, I was able to get the Rapunzel decorated eclair, which was definitely Instagram worthy, but did not taste that great. So I would keep checking there for treats. Their taste I can't vouch for, but for sure the margarita flatbread is my go-to, and it's a fun environment. So I really like Pinocchio House. My second recommendation for the fast casual unique themed dining is Be Our Guest, and I think that is a favorite among a lot of people. They offer walk-ups for the breakfast lunchtime, but for dinner you do have to have reservations. We have never been during dinner. We've only been during lunch. It is also located in Fantasyland, so when you come into Magic Kingdom, you go straight through Cinderella's castle into Fantasyland. And it's a kind of across the way from Snow White. Mine Train. There we go. I was like, what is that one called? Mine Train. But what I got was the Croque Monsieur. My French is terrible. That was $15.99. And of course we got the Master's Cupcake while we were there, which has the gray stuff on it. And it is just essentially a kind of like a whipped mousse. And it was phenomenal, $4.99 for that. So definitely recommend checking it out. What also is very unique to Be Our Guest is that it is themed around the Beast's castle. So there are several different themed rooms that you can actually eat your meal in. I believe when we ate there, we ate on the East Wing, which was kind of like the Great Hall. But they do have the West Wing, which is like the Beast's area. And when the food is brought out to you, it is brought out on this really cool kind of tray by a cast member, and they lift up the tray and reveal your food. So the atmosphere is very cool in there. Definitely something to check out. My third one, the buffet family style, is the Crystal Palace. I adore Crystal Palace. It is on Main Street. You get to meet Pooh and the gang, so Pooh, Eeyore, Tigger, Piglet, and the buffet is by far one of my favorites. They just have a really phenomenal selection. It just seems like there is a huge variety, and the aesthetics of the Crystal Palace are just beautiful. It's very Grand Floridian vibes where it's just very clean, pristine, elegant. It's just really pretty, and I love Crystal Palace. It's one of the first restaurants we came to when we moved here, so I have great memories of bringing my husband there for the first time, and even just coming before that with my mom when we would vacation. So I love Crystal Palace. Again, because it's a buffet, it ranges from $35 to $60, depending on if you're going there for breakfast or lunch dinner time. But we've been for both, and I love it both times. So my last one there for a snack, kind of the bonus one, is the lunching pad, and that is in Tomorrowland. So when you come into Magic Kingdom, you'll actually go to the right into Tomorrowland, and it's dead center, right under the People Mover. And I get the cream cheese warm stuffed pretzel, and that is the only place on property I found it. I feel like they sell it other places, but I just miss it or don't see it. But it is $6.59, and it is worth the $6.59. I love the cream cheese pretzel. It's so good. So that is my bonus one there. But that is all of my recommendations for all of the parks. If you guys are curious to see, like I said, a top 5, I can like try to force myself to pick just 5. But I also would be interested in doing a kind of like off park property, like a Disney Springs and the resorts kind of favorite restaurants, if you guys are interested in that as well. I had a lot of fun like sitting myself down and looking through the Walt Disney World website and writing stuff down, like compiling my list, and I hope that it was informative and helpful for you and when you're making your must go to places to eat when you come on your vacation. If you enjoyed, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!